playing the saxophone. He likes to quote dialogue from movies to his dates, and he thinks that most of the women he meets are pretty neurotic. Please welcome Jason Singer. Jason, welcome to the show. Nice to see you. So most of the women you meet, you think are neurotic.
I usually go out with older, but I find that the women I go out with who are my age or a little younger.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
And what would you consider an older woman? I think that's important.
4 years, 5 years older.
So 29. 28, 29.
And I find when I go out with women my age or younger, they all tell me I remind them of their father for some reason.
Well, you do look older.
Well, thanks, Chuck.
Well, I mean,
you look younger.
Perhaps you look more mature, I should say.
Maybe. I don't know. And they tell me that I look like their father, which to me is kind of neurotic. I mean, I'm not looking for another mother. Why should they be looking for another father? Maybe it gets very confusing.
Are you trying to? What are you trying to do with your pressure dates by quoting dialogue from movies? What do you do?
No.
What is that all about?
It's really nothing. It's just it's more like
you say things like "make my day."
No. If I say a quote from an Annie Hall movie, like there are two women at a Catskill restaurant, and one says, the food here is terrible, and the other one says, yes, in such small portions, too. Well, if she can get the joke and go, that's from Annie Hall, then usually I know that we're going to get along all right.
So you're probably having a hard time finding a woman.
Surprisingly not.
Just a guess.
Surprisingly not. Well, I'm from the East Coast, and it's usually there, because everybody likes Woody Allen on the East Coast.
I see. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's take a look at the women that Jason had to choose from. Now, remember, you're going to pick the woman that you think's best for him. First, there was Talina. She says that egotistical, lazy, and stupid men are terrible dates, but she claims that the jealous men are the worst dates of all. She's originally from Norway, and she says that her social life picked up when she moved to the U.S. And here's why.
Here you can go out every night to different places because there's so many things happening. But there it's very much a routine. So people sit home. It's cold and it's dark, so people sit home and they do things like knitting, puzzling, collecting a suit and a nice looking tie. It's a great look. I like guys in suits. But then on the other hand, construction workers look great too,
And finally, Laura, she describes herself as a Navy brat. She's looking for a college-educated guy who will take her skydiving, and she says that women today just can't sit back and wait for men to approach them, and here's more on that.
You just have to make the first move. And even then, the guys are thinking, oh, well, she doesn't mean anything by that. You have to almost hit them over the head with a hammer to get your point across. It's like, hey, I'm a normal person, and I think you're cute, and, let's see if we have anything in common.
All right. Those are the three women that Jason had to choose from. Who do you think would be the best lady for him? Make your choice now. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll meet the woman that Jason selected, hear everything that happened on that date. We'll do it in 2 and 2. Right back. Back. Jason's going to tell us who he selected.
I selected Carrie.
Ready? Jason and Carrie had a scene for the sister date. We always hear from both sides. Say hello to Carrie Blade. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Chuck.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Hey, just make yourself at home back there, all right? All right. Tell me about the date, Jason.
Well, it started off really badly. I had left a message for her to give me a call, and she called me the next morning pretty early, not too early, but I was fast asleep.
Like how early?
9 o'clock. And I'd been working all night.
Yeah. He wanted me to call him early.
I said the morning.
Yeah.
And I asked for it, sure. And so I'd woken up and I was fast asleep. And I tried to wake up and tried to be witty and charming, what have you, but I was falling asleep on the phone, literally. So I said, how about we give this a try another time? I'll call you back when I can. And I called her back a couple days later, and I expressed to her that I produce theater in town. And
you produce theater?
Theater, small theater in Los Angeles. What happens next? I had to this is just going to get me deeper and deeper. I had to postpone our first date half an hour before the date.
Yeah.
Half an hour
before the date.
Why?
We had damage on the set. We were opening the next night, and there was just no way I could get away. This is all honest truth. And I called her, and again, she was extremely understanding, and she said, let's just make it next week, and I thought everything was fine. So I go in and pick her up, and she's nailing me all over the place now because she gave me a rose, which was really wonderful, but it made me feel lousy because I had nothing. And
you could have brought her a nail.
I could have brought her, I should have brought
one of the old sets you had or something.
Anything. And it just didn't work out.
Now, you described yourself as kind of a fashion expert. What did you think of Jason's outfit?
Well, he's wearing it right now. I just thought that,
Yeah, that's what you had on, Jason.
No, it's not.
It's a double of it then. It looks
Something
like
close.
that.
Sure.
Kind of a producer theater look, actually.
Well, and it fits then.
So now what happens next?
So we went to a restaurant of her choosing. I asked her, because I didn't know Newport Beach, I asked her to find a restaurant. We went to a great restaurant. Outstanding food. And we had a really annoying waiter, though.
No. The waiter was excellent. He was funny. He had great lines. I mean, he was really
did all this. He did all this stuff where he was going, and we have a wonderful fish today, and it's got a Beaujolais sauce.
He was really being funny. I mean, there was hardly anybody in the restaurant. He was just having a good time, and it was entertainment for us.
He wasn't entertained.
No, I think too, because the waiter was so funny, and Jason was trying to keep up with him. Like the waiter would say something really funny, and then Jason would come back with something, but it wasn't funny, and we all knew it, So it's like he was trying, but
Well, so now we're in the middle of dinner. How things aren't going well?
No, we didn't have much to talk about. We were both trying to come up with things to talk about, which was just going nowhere, and I was about ready to go home. We got in the car, and I was ready to go home. I even said to her, look, maybe I should go. And she said, no, let's go here. So we went to this hotel to get a nightcap.
Well, see, we went to all this trouble, you could say, of going on the date. And he tells me he has to be home by 10. So, he drives all the way down here and he has to be home by 10.
One has to prepare in case the date doesn't work. If the date had worked, perhaps I would have stayed out a lot longer. Well, at the nightcap, the band that was playing there was you basically like a Lounge Lizard wedding band. It was really loud, so there wasn't much chance. I thought, okay, we'll try and save this. We'll try and get to know each other a little better, but we couldn't really hear each other. And
it wasn't that loud.
It was pretty loud, and it was pretty annoying. And
if you really wanted to leave, we could have left. That could have been just fine. We could have left.
What you did there, which amazed me, was that you asked me to give the waitress a hard time.
No.
Yes, you did.
I wanted you to
do
your accent, your Australian accent. Go ahead and do it right now.
No, I'm not going to.
Australian accent.
Come on. All right. Well, she wanted me. Waitress took quite a long time to bring the drinks to us, and she wanted me in this accent to give her a hard time and fluster her and say, "What has taken you so long that you couldn't get us the drinks any quicker than that?"
That's not Australian.
I couldn't do Australian. I told you I couldn't do Australian. It was an English accent. Yeah, amazing. And I have been, being in theater, I have been a waiter a lot of my life, and I just don't understand how someone could want to give a waitress who's obviously busy a hard time. Well, a good time and giving somebody else a hard time are not the same.
Well, being in theater, you're probably aware of cues. How did the date end?
The date ended. I drove her back to her car where I picked her up at work, and we said goodnight. And
how did you say goodbye, Carrie?
Well, he said, I wasn't going to kiss him, but he said, well, shouldn't we kiss? I mean, it's a love connection date, shouldn't we kiss? So I said, okay, so we kissed, and that was it. I wouldn't have. I would have left. Would have been fine.
Well, this did not work at all. Let's take a look at the audience pick for you.
All right, let's go.
This went nowhere. Well, they picked Talina, 44%. You'd like to take the audience advice? Talina, we'll take it.
I would very much like to go.
Carrie, I'm sorry that we didn't make a love connection to you, but maybe we'll see you again under better circumstances.
I like Carrie. I want to say that. I do like Carrie. Just didn't work out.
You're nice too, Jason. I hope that your date works out.
Thank you.
Yeah, this time, don't put it off for a week, though.
Yeah. I'm a bonehead. I know.
Do it right. We're going to come back with the next guest. Stay with us.